Good morning, boys and girls. This morning we are getting the herd together and putting them out to fall pasture. So last video, you guys heard me talk about the fact that I had to split up the herd. I've got half the herd, the dry cows and the yearlings, up at the 16-acre lease, and the bred heifer, the bred cows with calves on them, and the 2 steers that are being finished this year stay here. So it's 45 days in since breeding. So I feel comfortable hauling 3 females that are left here that were successfully bred up to fall pasture. I would have rather waited 60 days before I hauled them just to make sure I didn't have any issues stressing them out and having them actually lose that successful pregnancy. But I need to get them off the pasture here on the home place because I need as much of that to regrow as possible going into winter for winter stockpile. The more grass I have out here, the longer I don't have to feed hay. Plus, the 2 steers are gonna be heading off to the butcher here before too long. I mean, we've got another at least 45, maybe 60 days. And I need to get them on their finishing ration, which I'll talk about here later on in this video. But because they're here, I cannot start them on that ration with the other cows here, with the girls here. I just got back from the lease. I had to take the herd up there and pen them up in an area because the way that the place is set up, I can't pull in, open the gates, back the trailer up without the rest of the cows coming to see and the risk of them getting out. I'm a little worried about some fighting going on, kind of that reestablishing of the pecking order. Number 1, the herd boss is up the road with the dry cows and the yearlings. She obviously stayed in charge of that herd up there. Number 2, back here on the home ranch, she took over that second herd. And while something like that honestly is common, the issue this time is they're actually going to challenge each other. So if you don't know, cows and steers and bulls, when they're just kind of testing each other, that's when they'll do that headbutting. You know, they might push on each other's sides a little bit, but it's mostly headbutting, pushing each other back and forth, just kind of feeling out the other one to see if they actually want to make a legitimate challenge to move up in the pecking order. I don't know if y'all have ever seen cows fight or bulls fight when they're actually trying to displace the other one, but it can get really rough. And what cows will do is they almost go like nose to udder on each other, and they get in between their back legs, basically put the bridge of their nose on the udder. And I don't know if they're trying to flip them up or what the deal is, but they're physically like scooping them up, and they're doing that with each other. And it gets really aggressive, and that's how animals get hurt. Not a huge deal for number 1 because she was not successfully bred this year. Number 2 obviously is nursing a calf right now, a bull calf, and she was successfully bred, so she's still trying to grow. I mean, at 42 days is kind of when you have that real good implant of the egg on the uterus, but it's still really fragile. At 45 days, it's seeded, but there's still a chance that high stress like fighting or trauma from fighting, you know, getting hit in the stomach, maybe even getting flipped up, could actually make that egg lose contact with the uterus, and then all of a sudden she'll be open again. So I need to get the girls called up. I need to separate the 2 steers that are staying off of the herd and kind of get them ready to haul. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch, but let's get started. Definitely going to cheat on this one. It's always a wash. You entice them with treats, you get some of these protein cubes in them, and then they get all nervous and worked up from getting hauled that the manure coming out is quite a lot. Hey, girls. Come on, girls. Good buddy. Come on, mama's. Oh, buddy, you got flies all over you. Oh, oofed up. We need to get some better fly control going. So this is actually basically one of 2 things that I have been really dreading for years. If you haven't figured this out from watching any of my videos, you know that I'm struggling with having to process these animals. You know, I hate the fact that in order for me and my friends and my family to survive on high quality protein, basically an animal has to lose its life in order for me to thrive. I wish it didn't have to be that way. I wish I didn't have such a strong desire to do things myself and kind of cut ties with big ag. I'm doing it with chicken. You know, big poultry is horrible for those chickens, the growing conditions. Big pork is even worse. I don't even eat pork anymore, guys. I mean, pigs are just so dang smart. The conditions that they're raised in on a conventional scale, I get it, right? Like, this isn't going to be a video about that, but I get it. In order to feed the growing population, stuff needs to be made quickly and efficiently and low cost. I mean, people just don't want to pay high dollar for food. So I hate that I have an issue with that. So having to separate these steers has been weighing on my mind for the last couple weeks for sure, simply because, you know, they're not going to see the rest of their herd mates anymore. And the herd loves hanging out with each other. Everyone gets along, usually. The rest of the herd won't be so bad because they're going back with everyone. They have their large herd. They're going to fall pasture, which they're comfortable with. They're not really gonna know that they're missing two, you know, from their herd. The two steers that are staying, you know, I feel bad because now it's just them two. They don't have that large herd. They don't have the family members. They're gonna be confused. They're gonna be sad. It kills me, but I don't know, has to happen. Well, the first load sorted themselves. So when I came back up to close that gate, number 3 and her calf and the heifer, who was hopefully successfully bred, which is the daughter of number 3, they separated themselves. So they're gonna be the first load, and then I'm gonna come back for number 2 and her calf. Oh, hell yeah. This will be my second time hauling cows with the Cummins. That son of a gun keeps breaking down on me. Just kind of working out some of the issues. Love those old diesels, but low miles means that a lot of those issues haven't been worked out yet. Good. Come on. Good job. Come on. Oh, sorry, Mama. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Oh, number 1's already pawing at the ground and turning sideways for number 2. What do you think, dude? What do you think? Man, we got flies out here too. Yep, both of them. Number 2's getting a little aggressive. Number 1's getting a little aggressive on both sides of the fence there. Great. So back here, I'm getting the steers set up. I'll walk you through what they're gonna have. So I need to reach down in there and grab the grounding rod, but look at what we have here. Full of poison ivy. So I think I can do it without getting poison ivy. Oh, buddy. Looks like the boys found the lane. Man, I hope this makes them happy. Like I said, I feel so horrible. I know they're sad. I hope that by having real fresh grazing all to themselves on top of finishing ration they're gonna get, which I hope they really like and enjoy and consider that a treat. I hope that they become content and they don't even miss their friends and family. And I fully anticipate finding them out in the rest of the pasture, or now that I don't have a fence up around the house anymore, in the front yard watching the chickens probably some morning when I wake up. The plan with them is to finish them on rolled barley. No, you're good, buddy. Sorry, come on. Yeah, rolled barley. So the options, you know, to kind of, it's different. It's not corn. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a ton better than corn. I mean, small grains, man. I'm supporting small grains is what I'm saying here. This stuff comes from Sioux City, Iowa. So it's local to the state of Iowa. Small grains in a sustainable farming rotation are actually really good for the soil. Not that corn isn't, you know, corn being rotated as a cash crop, as a row crop, properly managed is just as good for the soil. You know, corn is a grass, but small grains, oats, barley, wheat, stuff like that, we've gotten away from as cattle producers, as farmers, because this area of the Midwest, there's just no real market for it. Well, but hey, come on, buddy. Yeah, it's gonna take him a bit. Come here, dude. It's such a sharp turn. Come here, buddy. It's another reason for finishing them on small grains other than corn is just, I believe that as cash crop producers, small grains have their place in a pasture rotation and a normal row crop corn, soybean rotation. So if I can support the dudes that are doing that, man, I'm all for it. All right, I need to get back up to the lease, check the herd, check number 1 and 2. Hopefully no one's dead. Thanks for watching, guys. Questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you later. Come on, buddy. Try it. Well, it looks like the 3-year-old heifer's trying to displace number 1. Didn't really anticipate that one. Well, now I kind of feel bad for number 1 because she's getting it from that heifer, that 3-year-old heifer, and now number 2 is coming at her. So she's got her work cut out for her if she wants to stay number 1. You know what the hilarious part is, though, is that when I first got cows, number 3, when she got out and was gone for a week, and I got her back from the neighbors and put her back in, this was going on, not as severe, but this was going on with her and a few of her herd mates. And at the time I was like, oh, they missed each other. They're so happy to be around each other. Look at them joyfully playing because they're all back together. Little did I know it was because they were reestablishing that pecking order. Golly.